Hey party people, welcome to Afterwards. Let's talk about this session. So this session, I planned a lot. I had a lot of things I wanted to set up, and I forgot that we had to sort of meet some characters. We met, we got to see Haddock again, which was super cool. Christine had mentioned, Pamela had mentioned that Christine would like to visit this cave of Haddock because one of the things that she talked about that is on Christine's mind is making sure that Marenton is fed and funded, so that then they can do a lot of start dealing with some of this other stuff. And so that, and again, like sort of being a human fighter, those are where her priorities are. Let's fill up the vault so we can afford stuff to research, and let's just go around and make sure that everything's cool in all these towns, and that we're not going to have like a revolt or something while our backs are turned. And one of those ways, she has the whole Fanged Coast PDF that is full of plot hooks and stuff, and she said, "Oh my goodness, this cave I bet has treasure in it." But I didn't. We just did sort of a dungeon exploration, and so I really didn't want to just go into a cave. And I've been playing a lot of Destiny in the last few weeks, and one of the things that they do, or that they've started, it becomes more apparent when you play the expansions that they do in their level design, is a lot of the time you'll sort of go to a place and you'll do an objective that'll maybe take you like halfway into an area, and then you'll leave because the objective's done. And then you'll come back later and you'll go like a little bit further into the area, or something new will open up, or you'll go left in a place instead of going right. And I thought, okay, this might be something fun to do with this cave, because it's supposed to be a really big cave. What if there was really more of a way to create a cave that we can keep coming back to? And I thought, well, what's the first step? Is let's open the cave. And it could have been as simple as, and you could kind of see the party sort of anticipated it going this way a little bit, as simple as going there and like either finding the secret latch or dispelling the illusionary wall. But I wanted it to be a little bit more than that. So it's like, let's do a little quest where we have to go out and find a key. So that was then the map on the door, which worked out pretty well. There was supposed to be a riddle there actually on the cave that I just forgot to mention, which was, I'll just read it now. Woe to he who disobeys me without my word, without my key. His quest he ne'er shalt e'er begin, for he be cursed by what's within. Which maybe would have been some fun ominousness, but I snooze, I lose. But it worked out pretty well that in that moment they sort of figured, I gave them a little bit of a hint, which is fine. Sometimes they're just not thinking that way, especially because I don't think Casey and Josh got to see the door down on their end. And maybe people aren't as familiar with the geography of the Fanged Coast as I am. But they once they figured it out, it was really great. We got to then go to the rest and hear about the Helm of the Forge being dug up. That'll feature heavily in the next session. Kind of a fun revisit of that battle. And paying off something we set up in seriously our 4th ever episode, back when we were going to do Heroes of Threshold every 4th episode. So that'll be fun. You got to set up that. Kevin, plug yours for a second. So the Tiger Head thing is something fun that I'm setting up. This is a big spoiler. They are the cult of Kumbhakarna, who Monster 21 Faces. They've sort of now started a cult in his honor, and there's sort of this magic now that either from beyond the plane or something. He's allowing them to sort of breed these master assassins, or not master assassins, but they've somehow gotten this dark magic, and they break their hands, and cut their heads off and replace them with the tiger's heads, which gives them sort of this access to this Nodish martial art that I described when Kumbhakarna fights them. So you're good. So that was a fun setup. The Gravedigger was totally by the seat of my pants, and as I was describing him, I sort of realized, oh my goodness, they might think he has something to do with this stuff that happens later. But he was really there just for exposition. But I think Ched is definitely going to come back now because he was memorable. Nostromo forces are in Haddock. This is sort of another setup that I'm starting. Starting slow rather than just like, Christine, guess what? There's an invasion! It's starting to set up the idea that the Nostromos are starting to move their forces, and they've made they have not made that even the least bit subtle in talking to Christine. And Christine has some family history with them a little bit. She has a great aunt that sort of raised her, that married into that family. So these are like her cousins, I think, oddly enough, which is sort of how that whole marriage came together. The rain! The rain was super fun. The ambience made it a lot of fun. I loved that. Also, I just wanted to sort of deal with, so often, like, perception checks are so easy. And just the fact that you can have heavy rain, which changes the mood and gives disadvantage. I wanted everyone to have disadvantage for listening to listening for these assassins. So I wanted them to be able to, like, jump out and surprise people without having, without sort of it being really easy to say, hey, I see you there. And then being able to like chase after them really easily. So rain does that really well. Fog would do that great too. That makes things heavily obscured. Creatures are effectively blinded while the fog is out. So that can be super creepy. I gotta remember that. So the rain was awesome. It led to some interesting choices about what to do with the bodies and stuff. Yeah, I like that. I like this session a lot. The teleporting ogres are fun. Those are just ogres that I've given the ability of a blink dog to blink within 40 feet. And a blink dog is like such a minor thing. So really it hardly affects them at all. It just feels like it does because their movement speed, it would be just like them being able to move. They just do it instantly. And so it is a great way to make a creature feel scarier than it is, even though the ogres will still CR2. And I kind of wanted the other ogre just to eat the pig, but they just melted that first one. Oh my god. So yeah, that was such a fun moment and a fun way to like have a combat that wasn't hard but was interesting. And that was like a way lower than what they could have taken on. I originally had it planned for 5 of those ogres. Should have been a much more serious battle, but with 2 of them, just because we were running long, I just slashed the numbers and made it sort of more of a chance to have an interesting combat rather than a long, grueling one. I think that's it. Tell me what you guys thought about my choices. If there's anything you kind of want to ask that I didn't address, leave me a comment. I'm pretty good about responding to them most of the time. I'm pretty good about responding to them. But thanks for watching afterwards. I will see you guys later. I will see you next Monday for another episode of Threshold, Heroes of the Fanged Coast. Thank you so much. Please, thank you for those who checked out our Patreon and continue to just have a quick look at that because it really means a lot to us just for some of those incidental expenses that we want to continue to be able to put out Threshold, and we're not really threatened to not, but it just makes it easier to like do certain things when some of the upkeep costs are padded a little bit. So thank you guys so much for your generosity with that, and we will see you next week. This has been Afterwards, and I'm Steven.